Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show at the 1970s mansion, this awesome house that was reconstituted. Want to dig in deeper, want to show you more stuff. The windows, you can see we're restoring those now. Bunch of work's going on in here, great details. Come join me today on the Build Show. This is a project that needs a revamp. This is a house that was built in the 70s. This is the second owner, so you're gonna see a lot of painting stuff going on in there. Fresh colors, fresh paint. We got a great team here, and so this is a fun project. A lot of cool stuff happening. I want to go and show you the windows first, show you amazing millwork here. This in-swing French casement that's so unique. I'm gonna show you it. This is very authentic. We've restored 90% of them. They're going back into the house. So let's go in, and I'm gonna take you underneath the house, show you the incredible mechanical system that was put into here. That's one of the finest houses built in Fort Worth during that period. So come on, check it out. Okay, I don't know if you remember this room. It had a faux painting on top of it. So now you're seeing it kind of in this white glory. This really shows off the shadow lines and really reintroduces this scale and proportion of this room. What classical moldings are supposed to do is they're supposed to communicate scale and proportion. They're supposed to be a human scale that we walk into space like, yeah, it feels right in here. One, you'll notice that this wainscot chair rail height is about 30 inches, maybe 31. Look at how this mantle is an over mantle, right? How it really pops now. We've got a bracketed cornice. Okay, got the frieze, a bracketed cornice. Here's our architrave down here. Beautiful decoration and detail. We've got a great overmantel with a pediment that bumps right into the cornice above. An amazing room and amazing details. Now, architecturally, you'll say, well, look, there's no architrave or frieze here. And so, once you understand the rules, once you understand kind of how they all go together, you can play around with the parts and pieces, okay? You don't have to be religious about how all those come together. This is still communicates strength, it still communicates proportion, it still communicates support. And so we've got all the details and all the elements here, but now that it's kind of painted white, I thought it was fun to see great architectural details. Here's one, okay? Now, we do what's called a quirk bead, and this is what this is a quirk bead, but it's a bead and reel design, okay? The beads, you can see the little balls there, and then the reed is the longer one there. The English call it a sausage and balls, okay? So kind of a fun way of thinking about it, but this outside edge, okay, and decorating the outside edge of corners in this manner is a fun way of doing it. We oftentimes do it with just a little pencil mold. I don't know if you remember that conservatory we did a few weeks back. It too had a pencil mold in the corner. Great way to finish the detail. This one's carved and elevated up a little bit. So this is a Greek Ionic capital. Those volutes are a little bit bigger. The Roman volutes aren't quite as big. And notice what they did in the corners is they've split the pilaster, right? And that volute kind of goes out this way and is catching the corner. The Ionic order is kind of a troublesome order because sometimes on outside corners, which there aren't any, this is all inside corners, it's hard to get the volute to come out the proper way. And so the inside corner was easy. The outside corner actually ended up with the Scamozzi Ionic, which is this Ionic piece that comes out as a way of turning the corner. You'll see it sometimes in historic buildings, even going back to the Roman period. So cool little Ionic detail, cool, fun stuff in here. Let me show you this bedroom where we've got a beautiful color, and I want to show you one of our windows. All right, so this is a Cremone bolt, okay? Remember that other door in that other room was an espanglinette. The espanglinette is this thing that comes around and hooks in at the top and the bottom. This is a Cremone. The Cremone is kind of a single lob, and when I turn this handle right there, these go up and down, and it can lock everything in place. Now, look how thick this sash is, right? We're probably, what, 2.5, almost 3 inches thick. Look how the drip rail is incorporated into that. And so what happens here is our sill, right? So this is a in-swing. That means that you've got to get the water away from it when it hits this window. But that's what all this drip edge does, is it kicks water out so that water doesn't come inside. Sometimes you'll see in historic photos that actually there's weep holes, and there's a little trough here with weep holes that go out. This one doesn't have that. But you're seeing the kind of the scale and proportion and detail that goes into these windows. And this kind of detail, when it comes around the corner with the little bead there is a beautiful thing, but you're talking about a 2.5, 3-inch sash. No wonder it's lasts forever, right? It's really quality wood, really beautifully built. It's built to shed water. It's built in a very traditional manner. This has been, now it's almost 100 years old, right? And so great traditional details like this really do last, really are worth it because of how long they last and how beautiful they are. So we're in here. We're standing underneath a completely open skylight, right? Very Roman, very traditional, historic. And so we're putting a new skylight in. You'll see some of the water damage in that panel medallion piece above that door where some of the other things have deteriorated because we got water intrusion. We did a big new roof. We got a barrel tile roof on there. We completely redid the flat areas. There's a bunch of flat areas up there, but now we're redoing the skylights. We ordered them months ago. They're finally in, they're finally installing them. So that's why we've got a big hole in the ceiling. But you know, kind of part of the work of keeping a great house, even though it's, what are we, 60 years old, right? That every once in a while, these houses need maintenance. They need, even if it's built to last, 400 years, they still need maintenance. And so that's really all we're doing is, it's really a cleanup job. We're not, we don't have rotted sills. We don't have rotted things. It's just maintenance. And so part of the process, even when you build a great house, you're still going to have maintenance. I wanted to show you, there's about 4 bedrooms and bathrooms we're doing upstairs. This is one of them, but when this house is built, it was built like a commercial building. Let me show you what's going on here. You've got steel trusses, okay? Then you've got a metal pan, right, where the concrete is poured. This is all rebarred in. So this concrete's, what is that, you can see the rebar right there. It's about 2 inches, 2.5 inches deep and on a metal pan. So moving a toilet is more than just moving a toilet. There's a lot of work here versus a typical house of this period. You're still seeing drywall, you're still seeing like the plaster things, but all our construction is concrete construction. And then they've got these massive stones on top. So we're gonna go back, restore this thing, but we gotta go back with concrete, back with a pan, build it exactly the way it was. I wanted to take you downstairs too, because underneath you're gonna see the guts, the mechanicals of this space, and it really is built like a German pillbox. Isn't that a term? It is just really well built. So come check it out. I wanted to show you this because you're now seeing the underneath of the metal pan, right? So here's the steel trusses that we were talking about. There's the metal pan that we just cut through in that bathroom. There's concrete on top of this. This is how this whole building is built. You're gonna see concrete beams, concrete framework, and then look at this mechanical space. I mean, we don't put that in most houses. We've got, all of these electronic things for the low voltage. We got more over there. We've got probably 8 panel bars over here of power, strips and outlets and things. Everything is covered. We've got a chiller system, so we have a boiler rooms. We've got a tunnel. How many people have a tunnel in their house, right? So that goes out to the chiller, all these crazy things, and then the miles of wire back down here. So if you didn't know better, you could be in an office building in downtown, right? That the way this was constructed, the way this was built, it's an amazing mechanical space, amazing mechanical room, and shows how well this house was built, the level of detail. Not only that French room up there that's so over the top, right? From architectural salvage, the Georgia room, there's amazing details and amazing windows and doors, but this as well. So we're talking about a house that is just to the 20s, to the 50s. I mean, it's just way up there, and it's just fun to work on a house. You learn so much on a house like this. Great details, awesome stuff. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Follow our podcast, Passion for Crafts. There's a bunch of fun stuff we're doing over there. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.